Hello everyone. Let's get started with the lesson number 6 on preposition, conjunction and interjection. Now what is a preposition? It is a word which is used with the noun or a pronoun that depicts the position of an object using on, in and at. For example, if I make a sentence, there is a book. It's a simple sentence with the noun, pronoun and a verb. So as I have discussed before also that all these parts of speech like adverb, preposition, adjective, conjunction and interjection, they're optional in a sentence. What is the most important component of a sentence? Noun and a pronoun and a verb. Rest everything is optional. So I can keep my sentence as simple as this: there is a book. But if I also want to tell the position of the book, I will use a preposition. There is a book lying on the table. Where is it lying? On the table. So on is my preposition that tells me the position of the book. I can also make another sentence. I have worked in this company for almost 3 years. So for how long have I worked in this company? Almost 3 years. So this preposition for will indicate the duration of the action, that for how long I have worked. Time of an action, from or since. So for example, I have been working in this company from the last 3 years. That means I started in the past and maybe I'm continuing, and it basically indicates the time of action, the period. So there's some examples given. There is a book lying in the almirah. So in is my describing the position. The girl is fond of dance. The little boy threw the ball under the table. So under is also the position. Now sometimes the prepositions for, from, in, on are often omitted before nouns of place or time. We did it last month only. I cannot walk a mile in an hour. Wait a second. So in these sentences, we do not have a clear preposition. Sometimes they are omitted. Now let's go through the different kinds of prepositions. These prepositions are classified on the basis of their usage in a sentence and what they're trying to indicate at. There are simple prepositions like at, by, for, from, in, of, off, on, out, through, till, to, up, with. A lot of people go wrong with the usage of on, in, and at. That's a very commonly made mistake. So how do we differentiate between all the three words? Is by making a couple of sentences. I was born in November. So that's a bigger picture. I was born in November. I was born on 25th November. Now here it becomes a bit more specific. I was born on 25th November. I was born at 6 p.m. on 25th November. So this becomes very, very specific with the usage of at. Now let's look at compound prepositions. They're generally formed by prefixing a preposition to a noun, an adjective, or an adverb. So as we have done before also, the word compound means combining. So which means it is probably, um, so it is, prefixing a preposition to a noun or an adjective or an adverb. So it, it's a long word made of, more than one word. For example, about, above, across, along, amidst, among, amongst, around, before, etc. So what do you mean by beside, by the side? Besides is additionally, like she's sitting beside me, by my side. Besides poetry, she also loves dancing, so which is additionally. Between is used when we are talking of two things, and among is used when we are talking of more than two things. There is no compassion between the two students. Or I will say, please distribute the sweets among the children. So here the children are more than two. So that's why we use among. Okay, now one more kind of preposition is phrase preposition. So what is the word phrase? Phrase means a group of words. and alone they will not make any sense. So here a group of words are used with the force of a single preposition, which means the group of words are used to indicate their um, sorry, so which means a group of words are used like preposition in a sentence so that the sentence makes complete sense and is meaningful, like in accordance with, in addition to, on behalf of, in case of, in comparison to, in compliance with, in the event of, in consequence of, etc. So, for example, my sentence is, in spite of all the adversities, she excelled at the university. In spite of is a preposition, and it's trying to connect one part of sentence with another. Now let's try to see the relations which are expressed by these prepositions, which we have done, you know, which we have done in the previous slides. They are used when we are trying to indicate at a place, went around the world. Where did you go? Went around the world. So whenever we are trying to ask ourselves the place, we always ask the question where, and the answer to that where gives me my parts of speech, be it adverb or preposition, etc. Ran across the road. Where did he run? Across the road. Leaned against the door. Where did he lean? Against the door. Similarly, for time, we ask ourselves question when. I've been calling her since yesterday. Since when I've been calling her? Since yesterday. Left before me throughout the year in the evening. Let's meet in the evening. When should we meet? In the evening. So for the third one, manner, we ask ourselves the question how, and the answer that we get gives us the preposition used. She fought with courage. How did she fight? With courage. She always works with comfort. How does she work? With comfort. Dying by inches. There are few more. Cause, reason, purpose. He died of fever. So what was the reason of his dying? Fever. So you ask yourself the reason or the cause and you get the answer, and that is my preposition, right? Like she's fond of dance. So what is the purpose? She's fond of what? Dance. So here of is my preposition which falls under this category. I did it all for your good. So here for is not telling me the duration. Here for is telling me the purpose. Okay. Similarly, worked for the betterment of everyone. So here my preposition for is not telling me for how long. It is telling me the purpose. That why did he work? For the betterment of everyone. So for cause, reason, and purpose, most of the time you ask yourself the question why, and the answer gives you the right preposition which is used. Now, possession, the girl in red dress, a man of means, the boy with brown hair. So here, in, of, with, they're all your prepositions. Sometimes it is used to indicate at at a measure, standard, rate, or value. I discounted your dress at 10%. So that's the rate at. The cloth is sold by the yard. By. Inference, motive, origin. From what I know of her. So that's your inference. He did it from obligation. Probably that's the motive. His accuracy comes from his practice. Again, this is the motive. So here these words from will not indicate at any from or of will not indicate at any duration or any time of action, but they're trying to indicate an inference and motive of the action. Okay, now let's go through the most commonly made mistakes. You make a lot of mistakes, especially when you're using the preposition with different forms of transport. Like, we traveled by train. A lot of people say we travel in train because you're sitting inside the train. No, it doesn't work. We say by bicycle, by car, by taxi, by boat, by air. So a lot of people also say on car, on taxi, Sorry. So a lot of people also say in car, in taxi, or on bicycle. So let's try to understand the difference. When when we are talking generally about any train or any car, we use the preposition by. We travel by train. We we left early by car. But if I'm talking about a specific bicycle, bus, or train, I will use on and in. Like someone went there on my bike. So bike is specific. There you will not use by. Suppose if I change this sentence to someone went there by bike, because that bike can be anyone's bike. But if it becomes specific, my bike, it will be on my bike. Similarly, we traveled in Mr. Mahajan's car. So here the car is specific, Mr. Mahajan's car. Therefore, we say in. But if we say we traveled by car, even that is correct because that car is general, not anyone specific. I will go on the 8:40 train. So this is specific, the train that leaves at 8:40. Now we do not say that I went to the okay, we do not say that I walked by foot. You're walking on foot. Similarly, he goes to the office on foot because he's walking. That is why he goes to the office on foot. Do not use by foot. Okay, now let's go to the next one, which is conjunction. A conjunction is a word which is used to join words or sentences. Like Rakesh and Mohan are cousins. I left early but missed the train. Now, conjunction, if you can see, they are trying to join the words or sentences. Rakesh and Mohan, they're two words. We're trying to connect them. I left early. I missed the train. I'm trying to connect the two different sentences using a conjunction, but. Conjunctions are divided into two different types, coordinating and subordinating, depending on its usage in the sentence. Birds fly, fish swim. They're two independent sentences. So we try to combine them using a and that is why it's called coordinating conjunction. So as the name suggests, coordinating means you're trying to coordinate, you're trying to uh, work together, right? So you're not trying to help, you're trying to work together. When you work together, you're working at the same rank. That means both are equally important. But when you're trying to help somebody, you may not be as important as the other one. That is what is the difference between coordinating and subordinating. So, coordinating means working together at the same rank, which means both the sentences are of equal importance and we are connecting them through a coordinating conjunction. I was hopeless. I kept trying. They're two different sentences and I connect them using a still. Conjunctions. You will clear the exam if you work hard. Inform them that you have arrived. He went back because he got scared of the teacher. So here I'm trying to, connect these two sentences. You will clear the exam. You work hard. So I'm trying to use a conditional word, which is if, similarly, that, because, and till. They're two different sentences connected through coordinating conjunctions. Now, what is subordinating conjunction? It joins a clause to another, which it depends for its full meaning. The chief subordinating conjunctions are after, because, if, that, though, although, etc. Right? Which means that if I break the sentence into parts, it will not be meaningful at all. Although he left early, he reached on time. If I divide into two parts, it will not make sense. Now, what are compounding expressions? Your compound conjunctions, as the name suggests, is made of multiple words like Garishma as well as Rakesh was present in the party. So as well as is a group of words which is trying to connect and make a sentence. You can borrow the dress provided that you are careful. So here I'm using a group of words as conjunctions. I'm not using a single word as conjunction, but group of words as conjunction. So that's all about preposition and conjunctions. We'll probably take interjection in the next slide. I hope it was useful. Thank you so much for your time. Happy learning.